Millionaire spent every Christmas alone until the new maid gave an invitation that changed everything. He had everything money could buy and nothing that mattered, until the woman he barely noticed offered him the one thing he thought he'd lost forever: a place at someone's table. Welcome back, my wonderful family and friends. If you're tuned in and ready to dive into today's story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. Tomorrow, I'll be bringing you another exciting story you definitely don't want to miss. So, let's get started. Marcus Sterling woke at exactly 5:47 a.m., 3 minutes before his alarm. The December darkness pressed against the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse like an unwelcome guest. He didn't turn on the lights immediately. Instead, he lay there counting his breaths, in for 4, out for 4. A technique his therapist had taught him years ago. It didn't work. Nothing did. He rose, moved through his morning routine with mechanical precision. Espresso from the machine that cost more than most people's cars. Financial reports on 3 monitors. By 7 a.m., he'd made $17,000. By 8 a.m., he still felt nothing. The penthouse was a masterpiece of modern architecture. All clean lines, imported marble, and art that appreciated faster than most retirement funds. It was also utterly silent. Marcus preferred it that way. Silence didn't ask questions. Mrs. Chun, his housekeeper of 12 years, was retiring today. Marcus had prepared an envelope, generous severance, a glowing recommendation, a Tiffany watch she'd never wear. "You've been very kind to me, Mr. Sterling," Mrs. Chun said at the door, her eyes wet. "You've been an excellent employee," Marcus replied, shaking her hand with professional firmness. After she left, he stood in the empty kitchen and felt the silence expand, filling every corner like water rising in a locked room. He didn't do Christmas. Hadn't for 23 years. Across the city, Elena Morales kissed her daughter's forehead in the pre-dawn darkness. "Mama, it's still nighttime," Sophia mumbled, 7 years old and warm with sleep. "I know, mi amor. Grandma will make you breakfast. Be good today." 3 buses. That's what it took to reach the Sterling building from their tiny apartment in Queens. Elena had counted. 3 buses, 2 hours, and every ounce of dignity she could muster. The agency had been clear. This was a prestigious position. The pay was enough to cover rent, Sophia's after-school program, and maybe, just maybe, start saving for something better. The penthouse doors opened directly into Marcus Sterling's world, and Elena forgot to breathe. It was beautiful, devastatingly, coldly, perfectly beautiful, and completely empty of life. "You're early," a voice said. Elena turned. Marcus Sterling stood in a doorway, dressed in a suit that probably cost more than her annual rent. He was tall, maybe late 50s, with silver threading through dark hair and eyes that looked right through her. "Ah, yes, sir. I wanted to make a good first impression." Mrs. Chun left detailed instructions. "I'm rarely home before 8 p.m. I don't entertain. I don't require conversation. Just maintain the space." His tone wasn't unkind, just absent. "Of course, Mr. Sterling." He nodded and disappeared into his study. The day passed in a blur of marble and stainless steel. Around 3 p.m., Elena discovered a locked door at the end of the east hallway. She tried the handle once, then left it alone. At 6 p.m., as she was preparing to leave, she saw him standing at the window in his study, silhouetted against the city lights. He was holding something small, a photograph, maybe. His shoulders were curved forward, and for just a moment, the untouchable billionaire looked like the loneliest man in the world. That night, on the long bus ride home, she held Sophia close and whispered a prayer for the lonely man in the beautiful prison. What do you think drives people to choose isolation over connection? Have you ever met someone who seemed successful but deeply lonely? Share your thoughts below. 2 weeks passed like a careful dance. They exchanged perhaps 20 words total. Elena learned his routines by observation. Coffee black, meals barely touched, gym at 5 a.m., no visitors, no life. It was the third Friday, December 16th, when Elena made the mistake of caring. She'd brought lunch from home. Her abuela's tamales, made the traditional way. She'd made extra, thinking there might be other staff to share with. There wasn't. She was eating alone in the kitchen when Marcus emerged, clearly heading for his bedroom. He stopped when he saw her. "I'm sorry, Mr. Sterling. I can eat outside." "No need. Carry on." He moved to leave, then paused. "What is that smell?" "Tamales. My grandmother's recipe. Would you like one?" His face did something complicated. "No. Thank you." But an hour later, as she was gathering her things, she saw him through the study door, still working, exhausted. On impulse, Elena wrapped a tamal in foil, wrote a quick note, and left it on the console table. She was almost out of the door when his voice stopped her. "Mississippi Morales." She turned. He stood in the hallway, the wrapped tamal in his hand, looking uncomfortable. "Yes, Mr. Sterling? Thank you."
Elena nodded.
Then, before she could lose courage, "Mr. Sterling, I know this is inappropriate, but my daughter and we have a small Christmas Eve dinner. Nothing fancy, just us. But no one should be alone on Christmas. You're invited. I know you'll say no, but the invitation stands." The silence was excruciating. Marcus's face had gone pale. His hand tightened around the tamal. "Why? Why what? Why would you invite me?" "Because I see you, Mr. Sterling, and no one should be invisible, especially at Christmas." She left before he could respond. In his penthouse, Marcus stood frozen for 5 full minutes. Then he walked to his study and carefully unwrapped the tamal. The note fell out, "Just in case you get hungry. No one should eat alone." He ate it slowly. It was delicious, rich and warm and tasting of care. When he finished, Marcus Sterling, who hadn't cried since the funeral 23 years ago, put his head in his hands and wept. He cried for Maria, who'd begged him to skip one meeting. He cried for Lily, 5 years old and excited about Christmas. He cried for all the Christmases he'd spent punishing himself. Elena Morales had just cracked those walls with a simple invitation, and the pain rushing through was unbearable. That night, Marcus didn't sleep. He wondered what it would feel like to say yes, to be seen not as a bank account but as a man who was still, somehow, alive. Across the city, Elena lay beside her sleeping daughter, wondering why she'd done it. But she knew why. She'd seen his eyes when he looked at that hidden photograph. She recognized that look. She'd seen it in her own mirror after Roberto died. The look of someone drowning in plain sight. Monday morning came wrapped in ice. Elena arrived to find a note on the kitchen counter, typed and printed, listing her duties.
No signature. No greeting.
Marcus was avoiding her. The next 3 days confirmed it. He left before she arrived, came home after she left. When they accidentally crossed paths Wednesday, he gave a curt nod and walked past without speaking. Elena told herself it was fine. She'd overstepped, but it hurt. Thursday afternoon, her phone rang. Sophia's school. Her daughter had a fever, needed to be picked up immediately. Elena's heart dropped. She called her mother, no answer. Her sister stuck at work. She couldn't afford to lose this job, but Sophia was sick and alone. The choice wasn't really a choice. She called Marcus's office. "This is Elena Morales. I have a family emergency. Mr. Sterling doesn't handle staffing issues. Contact property management." The line went dead. Elena grabbed her coat and left. Sophia came first. Always. She'd deal with the consequences tomorrow. Marcus received the message at 2:47 p.m. He should have felt annoyed. Instead, he felt concerned. He tried to focus on work but kept wondering. Was she okay? Her daughter? His fingers pulled up the background check.
Elena Morales.
Widow. 1 child. 3 jobs. Late payments. Hospital bills from her husband's final illness. A woman hanging on by her fingernails. And he'd been cold to her because she'd scared him with kindness. Marcus closed his laptop, told his assistant he was leaving early, and drove home through rush hour for the first time in years. The penthouse felt emptier than before she'd started working there. His phone buzzed. His assistant, Dr. Reston can do a house call tonight if needed, gave him Mrs. Morales's address. Marcus hadn't asked for that, but his assistant knew him well. He should cancel it. This was too involved. Instead, he texted back, "Make sure it's handled discreetly. Bill to my personal account." Friday morning, Elena arrived expecting to be fired. Instead, she found a handwritten note. "Mrs. Morales, I hope your daughter is feeling better. Dr. Reston is the best pediatrician in the city. No cost to you. Consider it a workplace benefit. I was out of line this week. Your invitation was kind. I didn't know how to respond. I apologize. MS." Elena read it 3 times. Sophia was better, thanks to the doctor who'd shown up last night and refused payment. She pulled out a notepad. "Mr. Sterling, Sophia is much better. Thank you. That was incredibly kind. I understand needing space. The invitation still stands. Christmas Eve, 6 p.m. No pressure. Just, if you don't want to eat alone." That evening, Marcus found her note and felt something crack open inside him. Not breaking, opening. Like maybe he could be brave enough to walk through the door she kept leaving open. The blizzard hit December 22nd with fury. By 3 p.m., the city shut down. Elena stood at the window, watching the world disappear into white. "Sophia's safe," her sister texted. "Storm hit early. Grabbed her from school. Don't try to travel." Relief, but also panic. She was trapped in Marcus Sterling's penthouse. The penthouse felt emptier than before she'd started working there. His phone buzzed. His assistant, "Dr. Reston can do a house call tonight if needed," gave him Mrs. Morales's address. Marcus hadn't asked for that, but his assistant knew him well. He should cancel it. This was too involved. Instead, he texted back, "Make sure it's handled discreetly. Bill to my personal account." Friday morning, Elena arrived. "I can make reservations." She walked to the kitchen. "Let's see what we can find." The kitchen was barely used, but Elena was resourceful. Pasta, canned tomatoes, garlic, olive oil. Enough. "Can I help?" Marcus hovered in the doorway. "Can you chop vegetables?" "I can try." Watching this billionaire struggle with an onion was endearing. Elena gently took the knife, showed him proper grip, guided his hands. He smelled like expensive cologne and something underneath, just human. "Like this," she said softly. Their hands touched. Neither pulled away immediately. "I'm terrible at this," Marcus said. "Everyone's terrible at first. You just need practice. I haven't cooked I can't remember. Maria used to cook. She was incredible." The words came before he could stop them. His hands stilled. "She made everything feel like home. She'd dance in the kitchen. Lily would stand on her feet, and they'd dance together." His voice broke. "You were lucky," Elena said quietly. "Even if it ended, you had it. It feels like nothing when it's gone." "I know. My husband Roberto heart attack 2 years ago. No warning. Left me with Sophia and no idea how to be both parents at once." "Do you regret loving him?" Elena considered while stirring sauce. "I regret I was working when he died. I regret 1,000 small moments. But regret loving him? Never. Love isn't a mistake just because it ends. The sauce simmered. Outside, the blizzard raged. In the kitchen, something warm was building. The power flickered, then died. Emergency lighting kicked in, dim, amber, intimate. Of course, Elena laughed. Marcus laughed too. A real laugh, rusty but genuine. They ate by candlelight at the kitchen island. They talked about small things. Favorite movies, worst jobs, childhood dreams. Marcus told stories about growing up poor in Brooklyn. Elena talked about her grandmother in Mexico. You weren't always wealthy, Elena observed.
No.
I was hungry not for food, for security. Built an empire trying to fill a hole money can't fill. Took losing everything to figure that out. You didn't lose everything. You lost them. There's a difference. You're still here, still capable of love. Just too scared to try. I am scared. You terrify me, Elena. Your kindness, your invitation. The way you look at me like I'm not just broken pieces. I don't know how to be that person anymore. Elena reached across, her hand covering his. Maybe start by accepting the invitation. One dinner. One evening. Just not alone. His hand turned under hers, fingers interlacing. I don't want to hurt you. Marcus, everyone dies. Everyone leaves. That's not a reason to stop living. Maybe that's why we found each other. Found each other. Is that what this is? I don't know, but I'm tired of being alone. And I think you are too. The candles flickered. Two broken people held hands and considered being whole again. Have you ever pushed someone away because their kindness scared you? The comments are a judgment-free zone. Share your story. The next morning, December 23rd, dawned white and still. Marcus stood at his study window in jeans and a sweater. Elena had never seen him in casual clothes. He looked younger, more vulnerable. Coffee? She offered. He turned. I need to show you something. He led her to the locked door. His hand shook as he pulled out the key. You don't have to. I do. If you're going to see me, you need to see all of me. The door opened to a time capsule. A little girl's room, frozen in December 2002. Pink walls, princess bed, stuffed animals. Drawings labeled, Mama, Daddy, me. I haven't changed anything in 23 years, Marcus said. Can't let her go. Tell me about her. Marcus entered carefully. Lily Sterling, 5 years old, obsessed with dinosaurs. Brilliant, fierce, funny. He picked up a stuffed T-Rex. This is Mr. Chompers, her favorite. What happened? Marcus sat on the small bed. December 23, 2002. Maria wanted to take Lily Christmas shopping. I had a meeting, potential merger worth millions. Maria begged me to cancel, but I said no. Told them to take the car. Elena sat beside him, silent. A drunk driver ran a red light. Hit them driver's side. Maria died instantly. Lily held on 3 hours. I got to the hospital, held her hand. Her last words, don't be sad, Daddy. I'm going to see dinosaurs now. Tears streamed down his face. 5 years old and dying. And she was comforting me. Oh, Marcus. It should have been me driving. I chose money over them. They paid the price. That's not true. A drunk driver killed your family. Not you. You didn't cause that. I could have prevented it. You don't know that. Your grief is valid, but you didn't kill them. They wouldn't want you living like this. Like you died too. Marcus broke, sobbing, clutching the dinosaur. Elena held him, let him finally grieve. When the storm passed, he said, I'm sorry. Don't be. That was 23 years overdue. She paused. Roberto died while I was working. He called, said his chest hurt. I told him to take aspirin. I'd be home in 2 hours. He died alone on our bathroom floor. Her voice shook. I carry that guilt every single day. God, Elena. So I understand. But Roberto wouldn't want me to stop living. He'd want me to love Sophia hard enough for both of us. What would Maria and Lily want? Marcus looked around. They'd want me to live, to love again, to stop building walls. He met her eyes. They'd like you. Maria would say you have a good heart. Lily would show you her dinosaurs. I would have liked them too. The invitation. Tomorrow night. I want to accept. Elena smiled through tears. It's still open. I don't know how to do this. One step at a time. You show up. The rest we figure out together. Together. I like that. At the door, Marcus looked back. I think I'm ready to pack this up. Not erase it, but let it rest. She'd like that better than a shrine. She would. Healing had begun. Roads cleared by evening. Before Elena left, they spent the afternoon together, living. Marcus made coffee, badly. Elena fixed it patiently. They talked about everything and nothing. Tell me about Sophia, Marcus said. Elena showed photos. Sophia at her school play, covered in paint, asleep with a book. She's my miracle. Some days I'm terrified I'm not enough. But she's happy. She has a good mother. I'm trying. You're succeeding. Marcus hesitated. Would it be okay if I met her? Properly. Tomorrow? Elena's heart swelled. She'd like that. Fair warning. She'll ask a million questions. I can handle questions. That evening, Marcus pulled up files on his computer. Your dream. The bakery. There's a space in Queens, near your apartment. I'd front the startup costs. Not charity investment. Legal contract. Fair terms. Elena stared at the listing. Perfect. Exactly what she dreamed of. Why? Because you gave me something priceless. You saw me. Let me see you too. Let me help you build the life you deserve. I don't know what to say. Say you'll think about it. I'll think about it. But they both knew she meant yes. That night, Marcus texted, Thank you for cracking my walls. See you tomorrow. Elena replied, See you tomorrow. 6 p.m. Bring your appetite and an open heart. Tomorrow was Christmas Eve. Tomorrow everything would change. Christmas Eve morning, Elena's phone buzzed. Unknown number. This is David Chun, Mr. Sterling's executive assistant. Please call regarding changes to your employment. Her stomach dropped. The call was devastating. Marcus was selling the penthouse, leaving for London. Her position terminated January 1st. Generous severance included. I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? Not at all. Mr. Sterling is relocating. Business decision. Nothing personal. Nothing personal. Elena hung up, staring at her phone. Yesterday he'd offered to invest in her bakery. Last night he'd texted about coming to dinner. Now this? She called his cell. Voicemail. She texted. No response. By noon, rage replaced confusion. He'd played her, made her believe in connection, and all along he'd been planning to disappear. Sophia bounced around. Is Mr. Sterling coming, Mama? I don't think so, baby. At 3 p.m., Elena made a decision. She took Sophia to her sister's, then caught the bus to Manhattan. Used the key she still had. The penthouse was chaos. Boxes everywhere. Movers cataloging furniture. And Marcus looking exhausted.
Elena.
His face went pale. I can explain. Can you? Because this looks like a man running away. Again. It's not like that. Then what is it? You open up, cry in my arms, offer to invest in my dreams, say you want to meet my daughter, then fire me through an assistant and flee to London. She was shaking. I thought you were different. I was going to tell you. When? After you were gone. A nice note with a generous check. She laughed bitterly. You're just another rich man who thinks money fixes everything. That's not fair. Fair? I invited you into my life. My daughter's life. I saw you hurting and thought maybe we could heal each other. But you don't want healing. You want an exit strategy. Marcus's jaw tightened. You don't understand. Then make me understand.
I'm toxic.
Everyone I let close dies or gets hurt. I was starting to care about you, Elena. Really care. That terrified me because I can't lose anyone else. So you push me away first. Very brave. It's not about bravery. It's exactly about bravery. You think grief makes you special? I lost my husband. I'm raising a child alone, working myself to death, terrified every day. But I still show up. I still risk caring. Because the alternative is dying while you're still breathing. I'm trying to protect you. I don't need protection. I need honesty. I need you to be brave enough to show up tonight. That's all. Marcus looked destroyed. I can't. Can't or won't. Both. Neither. I don't know. The bakery offer. Was that real? Yes. I meant it. The severance includes startup capital. I don't want your money. I wanted you, the person behind the walls, the man who cried holding a stuffed dinosaur. Tears streamed down her face. But that man doesn't exist. That's not true. Then prove it. Come to dinner. 6 p.m. Or admit you're too much of a coward. She pulled an envelope from her purse, his Christmas present. Set it beside him. Goodbye, Mr. Sterling. I hope London makes you happy. She walked out. Elena returned home. Sophia wore her best dress, a construction paper crown. Is he coming soon?
Elena knelt.
No, baby. He's not coming. Why? Because sometimes people are too afraid to accept love. They ate alone, rice, beans, leftover tamal. Nothing fancy. Sophia chattered. Elena smiled and felt her heart breaking. In his penthouse, Marcus sat among boxes. He opened Elena's gift. Inside, a hand-knitted scarf in gray wool. A note. Marcus, I made this because I wanted you to have something warm. Something made with hands that care about you. Not because of what you own, but who you are. You're worthy of love. You always were. Grief doesn't change that. Merry Christmas. With hope, Elena. He pressed the scarf to his face and wept. His phone glowed with her address. 8:47 p.m. Too late. But he remembered, just show up. He called his therapist's emergency line. Marcus? It's Christmas Eve. I know. I need to ask something. Am I allowed to be happy again? After everything. A long pause. The question isn't whether you're allowed. It's whether you're brave enough. Marcus looked at the scarf. The note. The empty penthouse that had been his prison for 23 years. I don't know. Then maybe it's time to find out. Marcus sat in darkness for another hour. The scarf lay across his lap. He'd read Elena's note 17 times. You're worthy of love. You always were. He pulled out his phone, scrolled to buried photos. Maria smiling in the kitchen. Lily covered in paint. The three of them on vacation. He'd avoided these for years. Too painful. But now he forced himself to see them. They looked happy. They had been happy. Grief had convinced him the happiness was a lie. That the ending erased everything before. But that wasn't true. Maria, he whispered. I don't know how to do this. What if I lose her too? In his memory, Maria's voice. Then you lose her, mi amor. But at least you'll have lived first.
I'm scared.
Be scared and do it anyway. He looked at Lily's face. What would she think of him now? Hiding? Running? Building walls? She'd say, Daddy, you gotta be brave. I want to be brave, baby girl. I want to try. He stood, the scarf wrapped around his neck. Looked at his watch. 10:23 p.m. Too late for dinner, but maybe not too late to show up. His hand hovered over the doorknob. One step meant everything changed. Meant risking his heart. Meant possible loss. But staying meant this empty penthouse. This half-life. This slow death by safety. He pulled out his phone. David. Cancel the London transfer. Sir, it's nearly midnight. Cancel it. All of it. I'm not going. Are you certain? For the first time in 23 years, yes. He hung up, stood breathing hard. He'd just canceled an 8-figure deal. Upended years of planning. For what? For a woman he'd known 3 weeks? Yes, for exactly that. Marcus Sterling walked out wearing jeans and a hand-knit scarf, with no plan except, show up, be brave, choose love over fear. He drove into the night. Elena sat wrapped in a blanket, staring at the Christmas tree. Her phone buzzed. Her sister. You okay? No, but I will be. At 11:04 p.m. A knock at the door. Elena's heart stopped. She didn't move. Another knock. Soft, hesitant. She walked to the door, looked through the peephole. Marcus Sterling stood there, wearing her scarf, his face uncertain and terrified and hopeful. Elena's hand went to her mouth. He knocked again. Elena? I know it's late. I know I don't deserve. I'm here. I showed up. 5 hours late and you should hate me. But I'm here because running was killing me slower than losing you ever could. I don't know how to do this, but I want to try. If you'll let me. She opened the door. They stared at each other. Hi, Marcus said. I'm sorry I'm late. I got scared. But then I realized I want to try. If you'll have me. Elena looked at him. This broken, wealthy, terrified man at 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve, wearing her scarf like armor. She should slam the door, protect herself. Instead, she stepped aside. Come in. Marcus stepped into Elena's apartment, where his penthouse was vast and cold. This was tiny and warm. Mismatched furniture, crayon drawings on walls, the smell of pine and cinnamon, evidence of life everywhere. Sophia's books, Elena's shoes, photos of people who loved each other. It was perfect. I'm sorry, he said, for everything, for being a coward. Stop apologizing and tell me why you're here. He looked at her. Pajamas, loose hair, no makeup, the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. I'm here because you're the first person in 23 years to make me want to live instead of exist. Because you saw past everything and still thought I was worth saving. Because you made me a scarf with your hands. His voice broke. I called off London, canceled the sale, restructured my life. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I know it doesn't look like running from the best thing that's happened to me in decades. What are you saying? I'm saying I want to accept your invitation, not just tonight, for tomorrow, for as long as you'll have me. I'm saying I care about you, about Sophia. I want to try to date you, meet your family, be part of something real. He pulled the note from his pocket. You wrote that I'm worthy of love. Help me believe it. Elena closed the distance. You really canceled London? Everything. Called my assistant at midnight. He thinks I've lost my mind. Have you? Probably. But if this is crazy, I don't want to be sane. She touched the scarf. It looks good on you. You're perfect. This apartment is perfect. It's home. It's what I've been missing. He took her hands. I'm going to mess this up. I haven't dated in 25 years. I don't know how to be a stepfather figure. But I want to learn. With you. I'm a mess too. I work constantly. Sophia talks non-stop. I have trust issues. So we'll be a mess together. One day at a time. One day at a time. There's leftover rice and beans. If you're hungry.
I'm starving.
They sat at the small table. She heated food. They ate in comfortable silence. Then Marcus said, "Tell me about Sophia." "Everything." Elena's face lit up. She told him about Sophia's love of art and space, her dream of being an astronaut artist. Marcus listened like every word mattered. "She's going to wake up and see a stranger." "I brought something." Marcus pulled a small box from his coat. "For Sophia. I hope it's appropriate." Inside, an illustrated book about female astronauts and watercolor paints. "Marcus, this is perfect. You mentioned she likes space and art. I wanted her to know I was listening, that she matters." Elena came around the table and kissed him, soft, tentative, tasting like second chances. Marcus's hands cupped her face, gentle. When they pulled apart, both were crying. "Merry Christmas, Marcus." "Merry Christmas, Elena." They stayed up until 2 a.m., curled on the couch, sharing stories and dreams and fears. Marcus told her about restructuring his business, maybe retiring early, focusing on philanthropy. Elena talked about the bakery, her fears, her hopes. "The investment offer stands. Only if you want it. No strings." "Can I think about it?" "Take all the time you need." Eventually, Elena set him up on the couch. "Sophia wakes at 6 a.m. Fair warning. I'll be here. Promise." "I promise. I'm not running anymore." She kissed him once more and went to her room. Marcus lay on the lumpy couch and felt more at peace than ever before. He touched the scarf, closed his eyes. "Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Lily, for letting me try again." Christmas morning arrived with Sophia's shriek.
Mama.
"There's a man on our couch." Elena rushed out. "Baby, it's okay. Remember Mr. Sterling." Sophia stared at Marcus, who sat up, hair mussed, looking perfect. "You came." "I did. I'm sorry I was late." Sophia studied him seriously.
Mama cried.
"I know. That was my fault. I made a mistake. Are you gonna make her cry again?" "I'm going to try very hard not to." "Okay." Sophia climbed next to him. "Wanna see my drawings?" Just like that, Marcus was pulled into Sophia's world. She showed him every piece of art, told him about school, her dreams. Marcus listened with complete attention. Elena watched from the kitchen, her heart full. They opened presents. Sophia squealed over the book and paints. "These are the best." "Thank you, Mr. Sterling. Call me Marcus, if your mom says it's okay." Sophia looked at Elena, who nodded. "Thanks, Marcus." Sophia hugged him impulsively. Marcus froze, then carefully hugged back, eyes wet. They made lumpy pancakes, ate around the small table, Sophia chattering, Marcus and Elena exchanging glances that held entire conversations. After breakfast, they played a board game on the floor. Sophia leaned against Marcus naturally. He put his arm around her. Elena caught his eye, mouthed, "You okay?" He nodded. "Better than okay." Around noon, Sophia curled up with her book. Elena and Marcus stepped into the kitchen. "Thank you for being so good with her. She's incredible. We've barely started. Eventually there'll be hard conversations. Boundaries. I know. And I'm here for it. I choose this. I choose you both. Whatever that looks like." "What about your company?"
I'm restructuring.
"Promoting my COO to CEO. Transitioning to chairman. Less day-to-day, more time." He smiled. "More Christmas mornings on lumpy couches. You're really doing this. If you'll have me." Elena kissed him, deeper this time, full of promise. "One day at a time. One day at a time." Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is extend an invitation or accept one. Have you ever invited someone into your life who changed everything? Or been invited in when you needed it most? Share your story in the comments. Your words might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. And if you believe in second chances and the power of unexpected love, drop a below. Thank you so much for watching my story all the way to the end. Your support means everything. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.